Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I've had a hectic week, so I'm going to try to condense it because I've done this video a few times now, and I realize I have to be careful about what I say because I'm going to be talking about a patient, so I don't want to reveal too much that could identify the person. But first of all, I wanted to look at what has come from the library. I've been reading The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Really good book. I'm halfway through. I like about how dramatic the dandies are being in that story, and I'd seen the movie, but the book is also really good. Then I picked up this book, Unmasking Autism by Devon Price. This is like the handbook of for late diagnosed autistic people, and it has what I like is that it has different sheets here for accepting yourself as an autistic person. It has an old label is stubborn and the new label is persistent, or that you are anxious is cautious, or if you are loud, you're more enthusiastic. If you're distractible, it means that you're perceptive, that kind of thing. And then there are these autistic communication needs, such as explicit messaging, calm and healthy autistic behaviors. And I think that whether I have autism or not, it doesn't matter, because this book will be very useful. I have my autism assessment next Monday, so yeah, I'm kind of nervous about that. But whatever happens, I still can have help from this book, I think. Then I got this drink. It's wild strawberry, which is really, really good. I just love wild strawberry. So that brings me to what happened to me with my ESFJ nursing assistant colleague. We went to the library together so that I could pick up this book. And wow, you do not want an ESFJ in your library. The noise levels. She loves to talk, and she likes to talk loud. And she doesn't even realize that she's talking loud. And I'm like, shh, we are in the library. Shh. And so anyway, it was pretty funny to go there with her. We also went to a sushi place, and I had the spicy tuna maki, which was really good. It's really good sushi for the town that I'm in. I've eaten better sushi actually in France, and I've eaten better sushi in Stockholm, but pretty good sushi for a small place like this. And she was happy for the company, and I was happy to finally discover this restaurant. I'd seen it, I'd passed by it, but I had never tried it. And she was waiting for her husband to get out of surgery. They were doing robot surgery, which is pretty cool. But robot surgery takes more time than regular surgery because they're still learning, and there's a lot of setup involved in robot surgery. And everything went well. And then I found out that my ESFP colleague, the senior doctor, he's pretty large and he has a little chihuahua. So it's quite funny to see how really soft he becomes when he talks to and about his chihuahua. And the chihuahua's name is Karin. And at first I thought that Karin was his wife, but he does not have a wife. His wife is the chihuahua. And Karin sleeps in his bed, and he's afraid always of rolling over and crushing her to death, because she's such a small little dog. And so Karin is going to have babies, is going to have puppies. Karin already has had puppies, but he had to give the puppies away because it was part of his contract. But now he might be able to keep the puppies. So that would be fun. And we learned a lot about chihuahua anatomy through him. Apparently, the uterus of a chihuahua, a female chihuahua, is that the uterus is in two ways like this. And if there is like one baby in one pocket or several babies in these two pockets. And what happened last time, apparently, that she was with puppies, is that the head of one of them went to the other side and was blocking the passageway for the other babies. And so they had to do a C-section. Basically, most chihuahuas are born through a C-section because, like, you can't push anything around because everything is so small. That was a fun thing that happened. And I've had a lot to do with my ESFP colleague because what happened is that I made that video where I showed you my medical office. And like a half hour after that, I was having such a calm morning, except for the fact that the fire alarm was going off because there had been electrical lockdown, or like lockdown, shut off in the middle of the night. So the fire alarms kept going every few minutes and it was really, really annoying to me. So I had to put on my headphones. That's why I had my headphones on the desk. But otherwise it was pretty calm. I already had a headache, but I was calm. And then like 10 minutes before my shift as like the on-call doctor was done, like 10 to 12, I had to go on a house call visit because the ambulance had met a man who was suicidal. And so, and the psychiatric doctor did not want to go there. So I had to go there. So I went with my nursing colleague. My nursing colleague is the one who helps me drive. So she drove me there with the automatic car that the other nursing friend has. And we drove to this person's home. And I was like the GPS. And right when we come, like the people there say, "Oh, be careful, he's aggressive." And we're like, okay, good that you're telling us now, you know. And you are really vulnerable when you're out there in the open and the open field, you know. It's not like we have alarms or anything. And when we come there, the house is extremely dirty, alcohol, cigarette ashes on the floor, everything. Weird stuff everywhere. He's a disturbed guy, you know. And there was smoke everywhere. And it wasn't like, you know, regular cigarette smoke. This smoke was like something is burning. So we looked around and then we found out that this person had tried to blow up his microwave. And this person must have done it right between the fact that the ambulance came to his home and when we came. So within those few hours, he had tried to take his life in that way by burning his house down. He hadn't opened the windows or anything. And he had also tried to kill himself using hand sanitizer. But he didn't have any left, so, you know. And I was there to determine if he needed to go to the psych ward and whether I had to force him to go to the psych ward. And I had to force him to go to the psych ward. And this is something that as a licensed doctor in Sweden, I'm allowed to do. And it was the first time that I actually did it. And it was the first time that I did it on my own, outside of the psychiatric emergencies. So it was quite a lot of new stuff for me. I knew technically what I was supposed to do, but there were a lot of telephone numbers that I had to call and a lot of regulations that I had to follow, and trying to figure out what I could say to this person. I'm really thankful for my nursing my nurse friend who came with me, because she could like smooth over the situation and she could talk to him and take care of him while I was doing like the important legal work of filling in this form. I basically sat on the floor in the middle of all these cigarette ashes and started writing up this report. And there were the people who were taking care, because he was in a residence for older citizens. He was in an old, I don't know what you could call this place, old age home. I don't think that you can call it that. It's like residences for old people. He wasn't like that old, but he was in such a facility, and I think that it might have had to do with his social standing. He didn't have money, all that. Really tragic. A lot of alcohol, a lot of cigarette smoke, ashes, bottles of alcohol everywhere, hand sanitizer that he had tried to drink. And the residents, the people who were like the landlords of this place, they were just like focused on the wrong stuff. They were focused on the fact that, oh, like this place is a mess, you know, and he's been drinking way too much and all this. And I was like, I'm here to determine if I am going to force this person to go to the hospital. And I need to determine if this person is suicidal. And how acute is it? And I need to fill in this very important legal form with my medical observations, so that this can be then looked at by a psychiatrist, and this paper might go to court. Very scary, and this is like the biggest power that I have over people's lives. I mean, I have the power of like saving people's lives, and I have the power of pronouncing somebody dead. But this is a power where I can strip somebody from their right, their freedom. I can decide that this person needs to be taken forcibly by the police to the psych ward. So I needed to concentrate, and these landlord resident people were not helping, because they were just like there and like fretting over everything. And I was like, no, I need to sit down in my little corner, make all these phone calls, because I needed to call the ESFP colleague and a little bit to reassure myself that I was doing okay. And he said, yes, you're doing exactly right. Just write the paper up and call these people, and then everything will work out. So I then called, well, this is the way I was supposed to do it. I was supposed to call the psychiatric doctor first, who was on call, and tell this person that I was about to send this person in. And I then had to call the psych ward, so that the nurse there can call the police and tell the police to come to this house to send the patient in to the psych ward. I did the opposite, because my ESFP colleague just was like telling me 10,000 ways of doing it, and I was like, please, just tell me one way to do this. I had forgotten my card, and and what I had instead was the paper in like this bag that has all of these house call things, like it has a stethoscope and all this stuff. There was a paper there that is this paper to send people to psych ward, basically. And in order to send somebody to psych ward, it can't just be that this person is drinking a lot of alcohol, or this person is feeling a little bit low, you know, or this person can't take care of his home, you know. It has to be like bad. And so there are 3 criteria. This is in Sweden. I don't know how it works in other countries. There are 3 criteria that this patient has to, this individual has to fulfill in order for me to be able to write a piece of paper that forces him to the hospital. And I can only force him to go to the hospital. It's the psychiatrist who then, within 24 hours, has to decide if he has to stay in the hospital. But I'm the one who's in charge of deciding if he needs to be taken there in the first place, forcibly. So, first criteria is that you need to have a serious psychiatric disorder. Okay, and serious is not just alcoholism. You need to have like that you're suicidal, or that you have like a psychosis, and that you are going to hurt yourself or others, through your psychosis. It can't just be that you're a little bit manic. You have to be like doing crazy stuff that is hurting your life, destroying your life, that kind of thing. So that's the first. So a serious psychiatric condition. It can't be anything else. Okay. Dementia does not count as a psychiatric condition. Autism and ADHD does not count as a serious psychiatric condition or disorder. Just regular depression or anxiety does not count as a serious condition. Okay. OCD does not count as such a condition. Suicidal ideation does not count either. What does count is if you have plans. Okay. Number 2 is that I judge as a licensed doctor that this person needs to be put in a 24/7, day in, day out psychiatric ward. Psychiatric health care that is within the hospital. Not just like a psychiatric, like that this person needs to meet a psychiatrist. He needs to be taken to a psychiatric hospital. And it needs to be a psychiatric hospital, not the regular hospital. If this person breaks his leg and people are telling him that he needs to go to the hospital and he doesn't, that's not a reason to force him to go to the hospital. A person can choose to like walk around with a broken leg and never go to the hospital. I cannot force that. But if it's a psychiatric problem, then I can go in and force this person to go to the psych ward. And that is my observation and my judgment as a medical doctor. And number 3 is that the person has to either say that he expressly say no to going to the psych ward himself, the psychiatric emergencies, or that I judge that this person cannot make a reasoned decision, like he doesn't understand the question, or I cannot determine that this person can make decisions on his own in the state that he is in right now. So those are the 3 criteria. Because if the patient decides to go there willingly and seems trustworthy in the way that they will say willingly, then I'm not going to force them into the hospital. They go there themselves. But so those are the 3 criteria. So that's what I was sitting down in the middle of all these cigarette ashes and knives on the floor and stuff. I was sitting there trying to determine if that was the case. And in this case, it was the case. So I wrote it down on this piece of paper, kneeling in the middle of the kitchen floor, And my nurse colleague was so good because she could take all the chit-chats with the residents and stuff and gather more information for me while I was doing the important work of filling in my form. And then we left before the police came, because we knew that the police was going to come. And then we drove to the psychiatric emergencies to give this paper. And then we presented the paper. Then my nursing colleague started chatting with those people, and it's like they don't care. All they want is the paper. So I gave the paper, and then I was like, okay, where we're going to go. And so then we went. And that took 2.5 hours. So they had to unbook 3 of my patients that afternoon. So it's not something that I would really want to do again, but it is part of the job. And I am glad that I did it and that I didn't freak out and panic. It was an adventure. Was pretty exciting to do, but it is quite heavy because I have such power over people's lives, you know. So, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, as Spider-Man once said, I think. So I that took a lot of my energy, and then I had to take care of more people who I had more patients that day, and I hadn't slept. There were a lot of problems, but I hope for the best. Because next week, well, this weekend, I have HelloFresh that's going to come, and I'm going to do a video for that. On Monday, I have to clean this whole place and take away my anatomy posters and everything, because on Monday they're going to come and visit my apartment for new renters. I also have my autism assessment. On Tuesday, I have my psychologist visit in the morning because he had unbooked last time. And I have a digital course about neck and back pain. Then on Wednesday, I have work as usual. Thursday, I have a course about children in the morning, and then I have work. Then on Friday, I have booked myself a massage as a treat for myself. It's a free massage that's provided by my work. And Saturday, I'm going to just take it easy. And then on Sunday, I'm going to go to the cherry blossom day in the Kungsträdgården, the King's Garden in Stockholm. It's not really a garden, you know, but it's a plaza that's in the center of Stockholm, and they have a lot of cherry trees, and they blossom quite late every year because this is Sweden, you know, and they have Japanese themes, so they'll have Japanese music, and they'll have kimonos, and they'll have different foods and stuff. I've been there once before on that date, so I hope to go there and have some fun before, you know, after all of that stuff that I've had to do the whole week. I'm going to try to do a driving lesson in the middle of that week and see how that goes as well. So I'm just going to be taking it easy and trying to clean this place before the visitors come. And I guess that next video will be HelloFresh, and the next videos after that will be how my autism assessment is going. Okay, so have a great day, everybody. Bye.